Hi, my name is Sabrina, and today I'm going to share a book with you called Pete the Cat and the New Guy. This story is a picture book, and it was written by Kimberly and James Dean in 2014. It is distributed by HarperCollins Children's Books. And in this story, Pete the Cat and his friends are introduced to Gus the platypus. He moves into their neighborhood. So Pete tries to find a way for Gus to join the group in one activity or another, and by trying different things that each of them is very good at. Well, Gus fails to succeed at doing any of them very well, if at all, and he becomes discouraged. And so he decides to go home and he starts to play the drums. Well, Pete and his friends hear Gus playing the drums, and it is at that moment they realize he has a perfect way to fit in because they have a band and it's pretty groovy. So I think that this story is an excellent story because it um, through the trial and error methods that Pete and his friends use to try and find a way for Gus to fit in, teaches us to keep trying, and it also supports the idea of being a good friend and welcoming new people. After the arrival of my son, Luke, my husband and I looked for different stories to read, and we fell in love with Pete the Cat stories. They're fun and they're easy to read, um, especially to little ones. This story is a great example of teaching children how to be a friend, and especially to someone simply by trying to include them in group activities. It also encourages children to keep trying even when they're facing adversity. Both of these themes emerge easily and naturally from the story as it progresses. The characters are illustrated in bright colors with simple shapes, and the designs are clear. Whether you're familiar with them from previous stories or meeting them for the first time, Pete and his friends are easy to connect with. They don't require a great deal of backstory to get to know them. Um, I think that one of the unique things about this story is how Pete identifies the differences between Gus and himself and his friends. And we all know what it's like to meet someone who's different and whether or not you're comfortable including them in anything. So, through identifying their differences, they actually build this story around characters, and then you start to find out that one of the things they all have in common is they're all different. Early elementary children are going to enjoy this story because it's easy to read and it's fun to listen to. So if I think it was written with the age appropriate vocabulary, it rhymes, which makes it fun. The sentences flow easily when they're spoken out loud, which makes this story an excellent choice for group exercises that might include public speaking or reading to children who are younger. I think the ideal age for this book is second grade. As far as making a classroom connection, I would choose this story to support the introduction of the classroom rule of being a friend to others. This would also make a good choice for introducing a new student to the class. As a hands-on activity, I would give the class an assignment to break off into small groups and to discuss what each of the members can do until they find something they all can do. I might even go further as to asking them to share it with the class as a group. That's my review of Pete the Cat and the New Guy. So now it's time to meet the storybook. So it's a big book, it's a hardbound book, it's got a nice cover on it. Fun up front, and the first thing you notice is Pete the Cat, who is an icon now. But you also notice over here, this is your new friend Gus. And he's sort of hiding behind his moving box. Inside, you find a cool picture. It's pretty groovy. That's one of their favorite words is groovy. It's fun to say. The kids like to say it. So this is Pete the Cat and the New Guy. It was Sunday, and Pete's friends had come to play. They were rocking to a new song when beep, 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 there was a noise coming from across the street. You could see them all playing in their band. Wise Old Owl had a view from his tree. Pete said, "Hey, Owl, what do you see?" Owl said, "All I see are green shoes and a red hat." Pete answered, "Sounds like my kind of cat." Pete could not imagine who this new guy could be. "I really hope it's a new friend for me." I like how the moon is the shape of a C for cat. On Monday, Pete wanted to say hi, but he was feeling kind of shy. So he just rode by and by and by and by. And finally, Pete got to meet the new guy. Pete said, "I've never met anyone quite like you. You seem like a duck and like a beaver, too." The new guy said to Pete, "Hi, my name is Gus. Glad to meet you. I'm a platypus." Pete said, "You're not like me, and I am not like you. But I think being different is really very cool." On Tuesday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. They came to a squirrel who was playing in a tree. "Hi, Gus," said Squirrel. "Climbing is easy. Try and see." Gus gave the tree a try, but the branch was way too high. "I wish I could climb like you, but climbing is something I just can't do." Pete said, "Don't be sad, don't be blue. There is something everyone can do." On Wednesday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. They came to Pete's friend Grumpy Toad, who said,
Come play leapfrog with me. Jumping is easy, try and see.
Gus jumped and leaped, but he couldn't get over Toad or Pete. "I wish I could jump like you, but jumping is something I just can't do." Pete said, "Don't be sad, don't be blue. There is something everyone can do." On Thursday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. Soon they saw Octopus, who said, "Come juggle with me. Juggling is easy, try and see." "I wish I could juggle like you, but juggling is something I just can't do." Pete said, "Don't be sad, don't be blue. There is something everyone can do." On Friday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. Gus said, "I can't juggle or jump or climb a tree. It's no fun around here for me." On Saturday, Pete hoped Gus would come out to play. "I wish Gus wasn't sad. I wish Gus wasn't blue. I wish there was something we could do." Just then Pete heard a groovy sound. It was coming from across the street. Gus was rocking to his own beat. Sweet! Pete said, "Check out Gus, the platypus. He found something cool he can do with us." Tap, thump, thump. Tap, thump, tap, thump, tap, thump, tap, thump. They got a rockin' new band. He's not sad, he's not blue. Gus found something that everyone can do. And they're all riding on a rainbow Gus bus. And there's a nice picture of the authors. And that is Pete the Cat and the New Guy. Thanks for checking it out.